Keeping you informed. This is In.form on WBDC and 18 WJTS.
Welcome to In.form on 101 Country, WBDC, and 18 WJTS. A very big day in our studio. We are joined by a very, very special guest, Zachariah Smith. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We got a lot to talk about. You are a very, very busy person. But before we dive into all of that, I want to tell our listeners all about you because they may recognize your voice. You were on American Idol, and we're going to dive all into that. So much to talk about, but let's go back to the very beginning. Has music always been a part of your life?
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially, I think I found out I could sing when I was maybe 5 or 6. We were watching that movie, Coal Miner's Daughter.
Yeah.
Land, the biopic almost. And I watched it like 5 times, and after about the 5th time, I finally knew some of the songs that was in it, and I just started singing. My mama was like, what in the world is going on here? So she replayed it, and I sang it again. And then she found out I could sing. So then I started in church, and I've been doing it ever since.
That's pretty early to start out. And what kind of music were you listening to growing up? Were you all over the place, or did you have certain formats?
Yeah, I mean, we listened to radio a lot because radio was, huge in the early 2000s, of course. And so a lot of what was on there was a lot of Tim McGraw and Rascal Flatts, and that's what I grew up on was country radio.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you decided to take it a little bit further. So you start performing American Idol.
Yes, ma'am.
What made you decide, this is what I want to do?
Well, it's funny because I always watched American Idol when I was a kid. Of course, being one of the biggest TV shows, early 2000s, it came right out of nowhere, and Kelly Clarkson had won, and then it just, kind of escalated from there. I kind of started watching around the time Scotty McCreery had auditioned, and that was like one of those moments where I was like, okay, I'm going to do this at some point in my life. This is going to happen, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is going to kick off my whole career. And that's what I had in my mind since I was like 7 years old. So
you had the confidence already from a young age.
Yeah, I used to pretend, I used to put the Idol music on my phone, pretend that Ryan would call my name.
Oh, that's so special.
Yeah.
So you decide to try out. Where did you go to try out at?
So they actually used to do the in-person auditions where you do it at the tent.
Mm-hmm.
I did do that when I was 15 years old. It was my first audition. I sang a Dan and Shay song. They gave me 2 minutes, and then I got my wristband cut off. But I was too young, of course. And so I waited about 6-7 years and tried again. And so I did it on Zoom. There's, a couple Zoom rounds that you go through. And then I went to Nashville and auditioned for the judges. So you
get through the audition process. Yeah. You get to the show. Was it surreal for you? This actually really happened?
Oh, yeah. I don't think it really got real for me. We went into the lobby, Idol's, everywhere, they've got all of their stuff everywhere. Camera crews, left and right at every corner you're looking. But they took me up to one of the highest floors you can go to in the hotel that we were doing the auditions in. And when I walked out, they put us in, this little waiting area. And I saw Ryan Seacrest coming down on a skateboard, and I was like, honey, that's Ryan Seacrest.
That just got real.
At that moment, it just snapped, and it was like, this just became real. This is about to happen. I'm about to walk into that room, and all 3 judges are about to be there.
And it certainly changed your life.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but boy, was I nervous.
Oh, I bet.
I was so nervous.
I bet.
Oh, my gosh.
When you were thinking about, songs you wanted to perform on the show, what went into that thought process?
So it's funny because I actually did a lot of rock and roll on the show.
Mm-hmm.
If some of the viewers and some people that may be listening, I sang a John Mellencamp song, "Hurt So Good," and I had auditioned with that. When I originally auditioned for that season, I sang Tennessee Whiskey for my original audition, and they were like, "Yeah, it's a great song. We love it. It takes us about a week to get back to you." And I knew at that moment, I was like, yeah, no, they're going to tell me no, and I'm not ready to accept that. I feel like this is my year. So I was like, what can they not say no to?
Right.
They just can't deny it. And so I picked the Mellencamp song, and sure enough, they were like, where have you been? Why have we not found you? And it was crazy. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you go through the whole show. Any, favorite moment from that whole experience?
Man, my favorite moment, wow.
I'm sure there were a lot.
That's a big question, yeah, because there's a lot of big moments, especially, you've got celebrities at every corner that you turn, and you're trying to take it all in and learn and just have fun. I would say the biggest thing that I really loved was Hollywood Week. I actually got to sit by Lionel by the judges table, and we really just kind of like
name drop in there, Lionel Richie.
Yeah. Lionel Richie, yeah. We sat down and, I kind of caught the seat beside him, and between commercial breaks, we'd talk back and forth, and it was really cool. It was so cool because it's like, it's not every day you get to sit beside Lionel Richie and just have a normal conversation.
Right.
So,
and I know there's a lot of mentors and celebrity guests. Who were the guests on your season?
Yeah, Keith Urban was he was a mentor. I've actually got a picture with him, whatnot, and he's a great guy, fantastic guy. We also, Jelly Roll and Lainey Wilson had came on my season. We had a bunch of different people. Noah Cyrus came on.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. Alan Stone, just to name a few. So yeah, they had all great mentors, and they all gave great hands-on advice.
That's great. And American Idol, you are now, exposed to millions of people all over the world. And that could be overwhelming. How did you handle, like, all of a sudden, like, there are people talking about you on the internet that you don't know, or they're critiquing your performances, and that's got to be a whole new world to experience. How do you handle it? Because I would imagine there'd be some pressure there.
Oh, it definitely was. I felt the pressure kicking in the night that our auditions were all airing. And I had like maybe 10,000 followers, if that, somewhere around there. The night that my audition aired on TV, I think we gained over 40,000 followers on like everything. And like it all just started coming in. Our phones were going crazy. And at that point, the pressure was on. Like right there. Even before I got to Hollywood, like the pressure was on. So I felt it throughout the entire show. But yeah, it's a lot to take in.
Definitely. So. And social media is kind of part of the job when you're an artist now.
Oh, yeah.
It's, I think there's kind of that balance between, okay, I'm an artist, I want to perform my music, but also I've got to be kind of entertaining and be this personality. It's like you've got to combine all of that these days.
Yeah, you do. It's different. It's really crazy because I really wasn't a social media guy before auditioning for American Idol. And I've learned now that, if this is what you want to do, you got to get out there. But honestly, like, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, it is one of the biggest ways to get out there. It really is. Like, consider that you post a video, you wake up, you have millions of views. That is your American Idol. And I feel like that's what a lot of people don't realize.
Right.
You can use it to your advantage.
You definitely can.
Yeah.
So post American Idol, you landed in the top 10 for the season. How did you navigate like what you wanted to do next? Because I'm sure there's different opportunities and which direction you want to go. How did you navigate what you wanted to do next?
It's a great question. Well, I always knew that I wanted to songwrite, and before American Idol, I wasn't really writing as much. So when I got off, I was like, okay, we're going to write songs. We're going to get all of our connections. We're going to, like, meet people. We're going to stay on the road. We're going to, just outreach and do whatever we can to continue to build on this momentum. Met with a lot of different record labels. Some deals really weren't the best, and I was just like, at one point I was like, you know what, a label's really not in it for me right now. I'd rather just stay independent. And I think that was a good move to make, because I've been able to perform pretty much wherever anybody wants to have me. And it's great because the fan base that I have, I would not trade the world for it. They are devoted, they are diehard, and like they're just the best. They're just the best people. So, I mean, we've been songwriting. I got to sing with Foreigner coming off of the show. Phil Carson actually called me. Keep in mind, this is the guy that, like, signed AC/DC, Def Leppard, like, all these guys, all these 80s bands. And he calls me, and he's like, hey, the guys love what you did on the show. They want you to come sing with them, whatnot. And that was a lot to take in. So I got to sing with Foreigner on their farewell tour in Nashville, and that was a big moment. After that, I was like, wow, this is really happening. Like, it's all really happening.
All of those dreams that you had since you were a child, essentially, and like, it's getting real, and you're getting all these opportunities, and you're getting to play all these shows. And I know this summer you are super busy. You are all over the place. Yeah. Tell us about this tour you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to talk about the tour. This is my first big headlining tour, and this is the Coming Home tour. I'm originally from Wabash, Indiana. I live in Mississippi now. But Wabash is my hometown. We are actually playing Eagles Theater December 19th, and it's going to be the biggest show of the year. So we're really, really excited about that one. But right now we're starting at the bottom of southern Indiana, and we're working our way up. Just to name a few, we've actually got Spencer County Music Festival that we'll be playing July 19th, and that's in Grandview, Indiana. We also have Bally's Casino that's coming up in Evansville, Indiana, and that's going to be a 2-night show, July 11th and the 12th. So yeah, just to name a few, and shout out to Doe Elliott for that as well.
Yeah,
So,
one of our
yeah.
Country Showdown contestants.
Yeah,
and you've
absolutely.
got a show tonight, right?
I do. I have a show tonight at Finn's at Pacoda, and it starts at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
So,
Patoka Lake, Finns,
Yeah,
be
Patoka
there.
Lake.
That's a great opportunity. It's a perfect way to kick off your 4th of
yeah.
July weekend.
Oh yeah, I know. It's going to be great. I love it.
And
So-
when someone sees you perform, you know, your musical influences, they range all over the place. What can they expect from one of your shows?
Wow. Well, I think what you're gonna hear when you come to a Zachariah show is you're gonna see an artist who is really in tune with his emotions, and I've got a lot of stories to tell because I've been through a lot. I think we've all got our stories, but at the end of the day, when words can't speak, music will. And I think that's what people figure out when they come to my show. But you won't leave disappointed. You just won't. It never happens. I don't think I've ever had a show where somebody has said, like, you know, I don't think I'd want to come back. They're always amazed. So.
Well, that's what the greatest reaction you could possibly
yeah, that's the goal.
have.
That's the goal.
As far as your music goals, you know, what's up next for you? I know besides the
Yeah.
touring, what are you looking to do?
Well, right now, we've got a highly anticipated album that we've been talking about for 2 years coming off of the show. I was hoping to get it, you know, out a little more, you know, a year coming out. But as I started writing these songs, I was like, no, this is going to be a bigger album than what I thought it was going to be. Actually, right now, we've got Kent Wells, who is a big producer in Nashville. He's actually Dolly Parton's main producer. But, I mean, if you looked at the roster of this guy, I mean, he has worked with Cody Johnson, Willie Nelson. I mean, you name it, he's done it. This guy is great, and he's heard a lot of these songs, and he was like, yeah, we need to really, you know. He's like, I think there's a few more songs in there that we could put in. So right now, we are currently working on the first studio album, and we are actually looking for corporate sponsors to kind of maybe help go in with that. And we've got different packages that are offered with that as well. But yeah, right now we are focused on this album and on the Indiana tour. And next year we have another tour that's coming out. I can't, you know, share any of that information yet, but there's a really big tour, and it's going to be more than just Indiana. So yeah.
Well, that is very exciting. And when that album is done, you got to come back and talk with us
absolutely.
again.
I would love to.
Because we want to talk all about that. Now, tell our listeners where they can find your music right now.
Absolutely, yeah. If you want to go check out my music, you can find any of my music anywhere you listen to music, but you can also follow me on all the social media handle tags at Real Zachariah Smith. It is an H, Zach with an H, you can't miss it. But yeah, you can find me Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, wherever you listen to music.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That show tonight is at Finn's at Patoka Lake. Then you've got that Evansville show coming up. And then Saturday, July 19th, that is the Spencer County Music Fest. You can
Yeah,
find
baby.
all that
It's gonna
info.
be good.
Oh, yeah. Great lineup. You got Andy Griggs, Marty Brown, Mary Sarah. So a big lineup for that show. But we look forward to hearing so much more from you, Zachariah. We appreciate you stopping in this morning, and
Thank
we
you.
wish you best of luck with this Indiana tour. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You've been listening to In.form on 101 Country, WBDC, and 18 WJTS.
This has been In.form on WBDC and 18 WJTS. Catch past episodes on our social media pages and our websites. If it matters to you, it matters to us. In.form.